Okay, that's working, right?
Yeah, single tap.
You need to do it like this. Okay, very good.
Yeah, that's what I said. Because the first presentation is completely useless. I can't play with the chip.
Yeah, this one. About here.
If you search that for the same place they went to earlier, right? So basically, if they have it in the research test for
For a place at the very edge of the continent, if you want
apparently,
is it sugar? Because I was looking what it is.
Yes, it is.
It's only kind of wet. Yes. Can we use it or not?
Yeah, sure. It's sugar.
Then I do it for a coffee.
apparently, polychloride is not entirely unknown to the air.
So what is with the workshop?
Over breakfast.
Over breakfast, okay. What will it be about?
It's going to be about what's
The tasks.
what's the grand challenge.
The grand challenge tasks?
I
Okay.
think interactive, but I can be overruled.
Yeah,
It's just when you ask for something VBS LSE, like they mean interactive.
yeah, yes.
Good. Should be. Okay, great. Let me turn my camera.
Oh.
Credit card details we're going in. Okay. How do I do this? It's on. What have to do anything with the time? I just turn it on myself. This is my first time turning it on.
It's in the tab.
There is something. Yeah.
No problem. You have to try it. Unplug, turn it off, unplug, give it a try again.
It smells so good, Stefan. You're a chef.
This was IKEA action.
Oh, yeah, one's for me. You take your shampoo. We have banana or we have
What is that?
banana shampoo.
Banana shampoo. I've never seen this.
Banana shampoo.
So you need it when you wash bananas, or?
Yeah.
Good that you...
Klaus. I think Cajo takes the banana shampoo.
Yeah. But it's really.
Are we on?
It's not happening again.
You chose that. But for
You didn't have enough yesterday.
Come on guys, there was no pineapple left. So we have to go bananas. Hey, it's good to move that. Cajo, move that shampoo from a kitchen. Somebody's gonna mistake it as a topping for pancakes.
yes.
There's leftover rice from yesterday.
This one is.
Did you get a shampoo? Boss. Did he get a shampoo? I bought 3 shampoos. One was for him.
Stefan,
They're done.
pay attention.
It said 12 seconds, but.
Did you get a shampoo?
Yeah.
Okay, fine.
No, it's asking now. You got new shampoo.
Yeah, no. Oh, yeah. I'll check.
No, but I meant in the supermarket. Did you choose that?
chose what?
The banana
Oh
shampoo?
no, he chose that.
Okay. Coconut and banana. Okay, good. Hair food.
I suggested coconut. But
It's hair food.
What do you want? I think
Coconut or banana?
Chocolate and banana.
Coconut.
Coconut. Put it in your pocket.
thank you.
Oh, so we have 4 ovens. 4 ovens.
Yes, but this one is really, really weak for some reason. It has also very different units. It's just 0 to 6. All the other ones
Yeah.
are with degrees.
Uh-huh.
I'm assuming these are 0 to 6 degrees because it was so weak.
Okay, so there is no temperature on it. Uh-huh.
Foodborne.
Yes.
Yeah.
It might be your default.
I made a mistake. I
Interesting.
went to the room, but I guess it's okay.
Yes.
Did you ever go?
Well,
If you managed to, I went to the room by mistake.
there is nothing.
You mean with the video?
Yeah. The video.
Yeah, okay.
Not sure what stuff is lying around in your room. But if you okay.
The world doesn't want to
I
know.
didn't do.
Let's
If you
get this
didn't look at your
out.
hostages, then you're okay.
Okay. So that is.
Okay. Does anybody want a towel wash?
No, wait a second. Do we have the glove? Glove.
Yeah, we have towel. Paper towel. We have.
Take your.
Give me your towels.
Not take the kitchen towel away.
Do we need to prepare more coffee?
Yes, I need for someone to drink that one.
Ah, towel wash. Yes. Okay. Yes, I will do that.
Towel wash. But you know,
So let me see, you're going to have, it should be a decent wash.
Want to have this one?
Uh-huh.
the dryer.
That's very.
this is the washer.
This is a
Washing machine.
washer. Okay.
Okay.
And this is the dryer.
That's the dryer. Okay. That looks pretty old. So fast spin. Cycle cotton color synthetics 4. And I have the
No, but the capsule is better.
capsules are inside, 2 of them.
That's it.
Just Florian waiting for that.
No? Yes. This one's. I was looking at this. Nothing. No. But I didn't even start. And these ones were done totally. So this side doesn't work. Everything.
On the left.
Yeah, it works, but very slowly.
Okay. What's that?
Actually, I think it may be related also to what we noticed with some of these. This one, for example, was very crappy, remember?
Yeah.
Quite close to where we
Perfect. Perfect.
I sent you 100 euros already.
Yes, that's good. We should have gotten them all together. 200 euros. As much as 14 euros each.
It was late.
Grind coffee and put it in. That's a lot of work.
These European guys are very strong.
So you're playing on your own?
Yeah, solitaire. It's one type of solitaire. So, but if you want to play cards, then What
Yeah, I don't know.
What games do you play?
Typically poker, but
Yeah.
I'm open. Open to learn something new.
No, I mean, so you don't have any traditional card games?
No, in Austria we have Schnapsen, for example.
Schnapsen, what's
yeah,
this?
yeah. It's I don't know. It's a very specific game with 4 different colors, 5, I think mainly. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. I think six different types per color.
Okay.
And you play until 65 points.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's
So it's a different deck.
yeah, completely different deck.
Okay.
Yeah, I have the cards with me. Maybe with Werner I can play once. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we had a game called Rummy.
Rummy, yeah, Rummy.
Like this.
Rummy.
You know this?
I know.
So
Yeah.
you can put down sequences or matching things.
Yeah.
Right? So let's see if we're talking about the same game.
I think it's a very long time ago I played that probably.
So you can
But okay, but you need to remember me.
put down sequences
Yeah.
of. So the goal is to get rid of the cards, right?
Yes.
And every turn you have to draw one, you have to put down one, and in between
Okay.
you may put down either sequences of the same
Yeah.
suit, or you can put down like 3 or 4 threes or 3 or 4
Okay.
fours.
Okay. And what counts more?
I think so. It's just at the end, whoever wins, you basically get the points left on their. No, sorry. You get the points here, but they just count normal.
Yeah.
Like you just count so 10 is a 10, Jack is 11, and so on. And then you subtract whatever you have on your
Okay.
hand.
But if I put down 3 fours, for example.
Yes, that's just 12.
Just 12. And I could also 4, 5, 6, but it must be of the same color, right?
Yes.
Okay, I got it. Yes. Okay, and I start with.
Yes, you
do
start.
I,
You have to
I
draw.
draw first.
Always draw and always put down.
Okay. Then I.
And I
Put
think
down,
so. I think
And
the deuces are wild, so you can use them. They're wild cards, so you can use them for anything.
the 2 is a wild card.
Yes. So in the way you used to play, you cannot actually put down on the first round. So neither of us can put down the first round. So it doesn't. But, so
Okay.
just to.
Yeah.
Yeah. So but then you have to end up by putting a card down.
Aha. Here. Okay.
Right.
Yes.
And
which one
you
should
can
I-
draw. So the options are: you can draw one from here. You can take the top card,
Aha.
or you
that
can take the
also.
entire stack.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
So,
The entire stack from here.
Yes.
Yeah.
so now, for example,
Yes.
I'm gonna
I
go for
remember.
this.
I think I played
Now
this
I'm
in
gonna
my
go for
house.
Actually, no, I'm gonna put this down.
Okay.
And if you put something down and you have one more card that matches, you can put down. You can extend on your.
Aha. Yes. I
Right. So
understand.
now you can. Do this.
I can put down maybe this one, right?
Yes. Exactly.
Yes, and I can. Oh, it's not good.
So now, so twos are wild. So I can extend yours.
So you can extend mine also.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes. And then this is 4 aces. And I can say rummy.
okay. So you're done. Okay, I see. Okay. Yeah. All right. Good.
And basically, the rule was that when counting, you used to count the twos as 2 here. But if they're on your hand, they're 20.
The twos, really?
Yes, because they're a wild card. And so if you leave them, if you haven't used them,
And a queen and a king, and they're all 10.
no, they're 10, 11, 13, I think.
Aha. Okay.
Maybe they're all 10s. But this one is basically on the table. It's 2. On your hand is 20.
Okay. That's good to know. It's good to know.
Anyway,
Yeah.
so I think these are the rules that I can remember.
Yeah.
There was the glue. There was
We have twins in our village that played this through school, and they had a book and they were writing down scores, and they did this like for months at some point, always keeping track of the scores, and it, going up and down, of course, normally around 0.
Incredible. how many cards do we?
8. 3, 2, 3. 3, and then 2, and then 3.
Okay. Ah.
Alright. Okay.
In real life, chess.
Okay.
And there was a, if you put down like everything, if you close by, so not on the first round, remember? If you close, if you close by emptying your hand completely,
Yeah.
that would give like a 50 bonus points.
Oh, yeah.
Something like this.
I got it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you can only put down the same type if there are at least 3.
At least 3.
Yeah,
yes.
okay.
So you can always only put down 3.
Oh.
And like 3 is the minimum.
Okay.
Now you can draw, put down whatever you want.
Okay. So and I can also use this wild card here, right?
Yes, you can.
Yeah. Perfect. So, yeah.
Now,
And I have also this one.
me, as a strategy.
And I've also the wild card here. Do we
Okay.
have? For
There you
9.
go. Yes.
Yeah. And
Then
then
you can
I
close.
say Romy.
Yes. All right. Well, I was gonna say if you couldn't finish, then I would not use the wild card.
Yes. Aha.
Because I would keep it as an option for
Okay.
extending. Because
Of course.
you might get, you might get 9, 10. You might get a jack here.
Yes,
And
yes,
then 2
yes.
wild cards would actually
Okay.
work.
Right.
Right. But in this
But
case, it
in this
doesn't
case,
matter,
it's
right? Yes. Nice.
okay. Good. It's funny game.
It's a good game. You can, and it extends nicely to 3-4 people.
Yeah.
So it's not just a 2-person game. Beyond that, you start to run out of cards. And the most fun is when you have a big stack and you get everything. Because then you can, even if you lose the game, you can sometimes get lots and lots and lots of points.
Oh, I see.
If you're counting the points, it can actually pay off.
Yeah. So I have to draw one
Yeah, always
first,
draw.
and put down one.
Yes.
Not sure which one, but yeah.
Yeah, because you don't know anything. You don't know anything about my hand.
Yeah,
yet, so,
yeah.
Turn on the camera.
Yeah.
Look at his camera.
Look at the camera. It's not. Doesn't have a picture, right?
But in the front, he means.
Yeah, but it's in reflection.
Yeah.
Oh,
In the-
right.
That
of
also.
course we
That
should,
also. Yes,
we
yes,
should-
yes. Oh, now.
turn
Yeah. Now
You
I
see
can
it?
see almost. Yes.
But we should do this, right? It's to catch the hands.
This is funny. Yeah.
I guess we're ready for breakfast.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's your turn, right?
No, I put down.
It's mine.
Yes.
Okay.
You just bring that side.
Yes.
Yeah.
Should I put down maybe this one?
I'm gonna take the stack. Yeah, maybe not the best move.
So.
I did not manage to take
Okay. Then now this one.
that would be quite impressive.
Okay. Very good.
Laurie, there are 2 seats that have
Alright.
Where is the other one?
We should go and have breakfast. I
Yeah,
think.
let's finish the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to see.
This is not good. But I have to draw one,
Yeah,
right?
always.
Or did I draw already?
No, you didn't.
No, I know it. I know it.
No, I did. Okay.
And you were right, you know. Chilled orange juice. Made in concentrate.
No, it's not good. Not good. I don't like that.
Made in concentrate just means this is already pre-mixed Miwadi.
Right.
What about the vitamins?
No. Yes. Okay.
Wherever you like.
Romy.
So it's like
Yeah, it's
It's a card game.
card game.
You can check the video. No, you basically the goal is to get rid of the cards. You can put down like rows of suits, so like 4, 5, 6 in the same color, or you can put down like 5, 5, 5 in different colors. Always at minimum 3. 2s are wild, and then you always have to draw. You also have to put down a card, and then whoever gets rid of the cards first wins.
Yeah, that's the idea. 10.
That's a rough idea.
10. Okay.
So now we had very short games so far, and now it's a longer one.
Yeah.
And you can draw one here, one from the top, or you can take the whole stack.
You can draw from that like that too?
Yes.
And now he's finished. Oh my God.
That was the card I needed.
Okay, very good, very good. Yeah. All right, so let's go for breakfast.
I also explained the rules, right? So
Yes.
no, this game is indestructible. Alright.
Okay.
That's what I heard is the point.
What?
To change positions.
Alright.
Oh, nice.
Actually, I think
Well, this is, if you want this is concentrate, right? You need to put water on it. No, not the milk. The milk is not concentrate.
Milk concentrate.
Yeah. Milk powder.
Well, there is such a thing, you know.
So when this is 6 December, that's far from now.
It's not far, but it's rich.
It's a bit fun already.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, but is there also coffee? No.
There is no.
Do you want juice or milk?
Coffee? Is there also coffee?
No.
Okay, brewed. Yeah.
Oh no, that's
I put, you know,
yeah, but coffee as well. Hot coffee and tea are.
wondering who would get that.
We actually got 2 each.
Okay.
I'll try one of Stefan.
Which one was remade?
You want some orange juice?
I think I'm
Oh yes, please.
I can handle it.
Thank you.
Well, actually, try one normal, one chocolate, huh?
Do we?
Thank you.
Do we have?
I have a milk.
We're looking for butter.
Butter and cheese.
I will also try that one.
We
Yes.
have a cheese. Shall I cut some cheese?
No, you're the hardest person to get out. Stay where you are. Okay, sit down, sit down.
Hey, but we need some cheese, maybe.
Cheese and butter.
Cheese and butter.
Cheese.
Some nice apple
In our fridge?
Yeah. So just like bring the cheeses and one board for cutting and a knife.
Okay.
They are in the door, you know.
Hmm.
IKEA.
IKEA.
They're from IKEA?
No,
They're from IKEA.
some assembly required.
They come with the screws and everything, you know.
Minimal assembly required.
Yep. How's my division?
I didn't know what to do till you're back, so I put some egg on top. Probably totally unnecessary.
So here's the butter.
So you prepared them from scratch? This one?
Yeah, totally.
So you folded them in the
Yeah. Joke, man.
I use the other one because this one's salted.
Yes, totally.
The other
Some
one
cheese.
was not salted.
Okay.
And do we have board for cutting? Maybe board for cutting, like the plastic board.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Awesome. French Gruyere. Okay.
No, Gruyere.
Oh my god.
Fine with this one?
But we don't, he doesn't eat butter. I eat my own butter. It's rather eating another kind of butter.
So there's more
So-
IKEA cheese.
Okay.
Yes.
Before you open that one, maybe you want to use the one that's
Yeah,
already
totally.
started.
I did not think that you were serious when you said you bought more cheese, but now we have. I think if we only had the cheese, we would not
Oh,
starve.
this is IKEA cheese, eh?
There's no calories.
No, that's carrot.
Lasts the whole day.
It's very
Honestly, I think
I
at
cannot
the end of the
find
week
any
it's
more.
just.
Oh no, there is. Because he took it.
It's all going to be cheese. We're converging towards cheese.
Some unusual
It
cheese.
is a sign of Jerry Gunner.
We're eating a little bit of everything, but the cheese replenishes much faster than the rest.
This is not really
Is that
the best
tea?
night for this, but
Did you talk? Yeah. This is tea.
Not sure. Is it done already, or I guess it will?
some other type
Okay,
of
good.
night.
Yeah.
This one is also probably not, but
Potentially
still
it's
a
very
bit
full.
better.
Oh. Oh.
Yes,
oh,
this is
there we go.
exactly-
There we go.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. 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 I see. I see.
Saved.
That's fine.
Oh. We have 2 each.
No, I'm playing.
So I'm cutting some cheese for whoever wants.
Thank you. I've cut take You leave the customer.
Thank
yeah,
you.
yeah, I know. So there are more
That's
different types of cheeses. Yeah. That went fast. I shouldn't have said till I'm done.
Yeah.
It's, angry seagulls / scavengers. I think we have probably a better knife for this somewhere, but this would be with this cheese. Let's take some other.
So this is some
Vintage cheddar.
and maple.
Yeah, we do vintage cheddar.
These two.
Oh,
You're a cheesemonger, so you finish all the cheese you've got.
Brown maple.
That looks nice, yeah.
Maybe we kind of do this one.
Maybe I bring a knife and you split it, or you?
Oh yeah.
You
I
want
mean, we can just grab it.
Okay, that's first, just put it on.
No, this is fine.
More vintage cheddar coming, vintage cheddar. Oh, this is very vintage.
What's that cheese?
What do they mean by vintage? Somebody forgot it for a few seasons.
Looks like this, yes.
This is pistachio though.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Could be.
Cheese?
I mean,
how do you know
Yeah.
that?
Okay. Basically, I forgot that I was guessing.
It's basically vintage storage of that supermarket.
But it's
So
maple,
what
right?
did you?
Oh, there is this cheese that we forgot from 10 years ago. Let's kind of let's call it vintage and declare it the future, you know.
You want the big ones each?
Yeah.
So, vintage cheddar.
Oh, it's
Guys.
finished.
Oh, did you manage to finish?
Oh, yes.
Yes.
No, we have another cheddar.
Someone
Thank you.
wants
Oh, maybe you can put it here also.
yeah,
Then we,
let's leave it here.
then we can pour in our own. Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so
Yeah.
1 kilogram saved.
So maybe.
Also, beans.
Okay.
Some Irish magic.
This
Any coffee?
Oh no. Like,
Oh, this one is.
14, yes.
Yes.
Guys, I think cheese.
Boss.
Oh no, you want coffee?
Yes.
A little bit.
No, I thought he wants some speech.
Okay, maybe not too much.
Who's speaking?
Right. I don't know.
No. I didn't know.
Bueno,
Yeah, put it here and I'll move it.
No, this one. Yeah.
thank you.
Bjorn has something to say.
Please, Björn, stand up.
Yeah, he already said something like, I will try to translate it. Something like,
I'll put it there.
You want milk?
No, I'm
So
fine.
officially the workshop for today has now begun.
Yeah.
Our task for today is as follows. We must decide on what is the appropriate task for a grand challenge at ACM Multimedia, and we will consider a hackathon as well, but multimedia is the key thing today. We were given the money by SIGMM.
Yeah.
They requested that we run something that's like VBS or LSC, or VBS and LSC actually,
Yeah.
at ACM Multimedia. Get together, figure it out, do it.
And it has to be interactive.
They didn't say that, but since they said it has to be like, it should be like VBS/LSC, it probably is something with an interactive element to it. Data set released, bit of training data, maybe a closed workshop and a public open session. Right? That is what I think is gonna. I think it's gonna happen. And so looking for something that's not the obvious. Release a data set, set a date, get people together, run a challenge, give some topics, Q&A, an ad hoc
and see what happens. That's the default approach. Is there something you want to do that's better or more novel than that? Does anybody have any ideas? Let's worry about the challenge first and the hackathon second, I think. Well, the question is, does the challenge have to have one single task, or could it be multiple ones?
Yeah.
It's up to us. There's a workshop. I imagine there will be an associated workshop and a grand challenge tied to the workshop. Because I think
I vote multiple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I was also thinking, like, I mean, given the bias we'll have in the data set, there is a lot on research on multimedia for cooking, eating.
Right,
so basically, one task could be basically do whatever you have on your data set and just test it on this data set. Don't use any training data from this data set. See how this transfers to new data. And of course, I guess we want to do something like more LSC style interactive queries. I mean, from the backlog of things that we want to do, is one thing that we always for VBS also had was trying to see how precisely you phrase queries or how simple you keep the language. There's always this tension between use simple words that everyone understands versus being precise. So that might be something also to study, but this is, of course, needs comparison. So either you split it at two groups. If we have enough participants, that could work, but we don't know in advance probably.
Because I think we should like build a hybrid benchmark for everyone to compare them, you know, when they raise a new idea. But for annual competition, we should like change the task to new one and motivate them to create a new idea or change their method to compete with other teams. So yeah, that's my idea.
I mean, the usual grand challenge formats, which I think we should stick to at least for the part that we label as grand challenge, is an asynchronous operation. You get your data, you get your task, you get your time to process, to do whatever it is you think you need to do to solve the task. You send in your results, you get your scores back, and there's going to be result presentation of everybody or the top scoring teams depending on where we are.
It's not very alike to LSE and VBS.
Yeah, I mean this is
has to be
something
live.
we can do on top of this. That we have a session where something happens live. But
I think that's what they
definitely
literally asked us. I mean, that's one thing that makes this format very unique, this interaction.
Right.
And why is it kind of, I think, interesting that we look at some form of interaction in the age of these conversational systems, because these are conversational systems been from the beginning.
So we can do some kind of data mining where they build a system, more like exploration system, and then at the challenge we will have very specific questions for that. For example, like regarding group dynamics, so they will have to build a system that can visualize the group dynamics and show some kind of interaction that more and very user experience based. And then at the challenge we ask some questions live, and they have to use the system to answer that. It's like who did I talk to the most today or something like that. But these questions are only released at the challenge live.
Yeah, so I would just not limit it to something like this, because the barrier of entry for these sort of things is very high. Right, so you need a complete stack to be able to do this interactive.
Asynchronous and synchronous.
Yes.
Yeah.
Whereas if you just give out some tasks, people can put some algorithms together however they want. It only needs to run exactly once on whatever resources they might have, and they can produce those results. Right? This might not cover all the things, but it is certainly for some interesting tasks. it might be entirely sufficient that they can build their thing, it runs on whatever they have. It will take a while to run. We will produce some output, we will look at the output and tell them how well they did.
So something that has a low barrier to entry, asynchronous submission to take part in the grand challenge, but there is an interactive element to the grand challenge, which is tied to a workshop, which is somehow different than hackathon.
And I guess the hackathon should have all the things we can not evaluate, whereas there either we don't have a ground truth or there cannot be a ground truth because there is some ambiguity in there. Whereas the challenges should have a clear mechanism by which you can tell, okay, how much of this you got right.
We kind of do this with NTCIO, right? That email I send out periodically and everybody ignores. With NTCIO, where we do have this asynchronous challenge. You build your system, you give me the queries, which we've got to look at. We read the queries. The queries are more descriptive than an LSE query. It has a title, a description, and then a narrative that says, eating breakfast is relevant only if it includes Werner. There's some descriptions like that. That makes it very, very clear. And people do that in their own time. By a certain date, they submit the runs. We pool all people's runs together and generate a ground truth. We don't evaluate everything. It's not a complete ground truth, it's a pooled ground truth. So it's never going to be perfect, but it's going to be sufficient to differentiate systems. That we can do a lot of other. Okay, that's simple. We do that a lot of. The challenge here is that it's probably a bit more difficult data to work with, but that's great. Then we can do some really interesting interactive things in our workshop, where the queries are different, like some kind of, really it is this interaction queries we have. So the time I was talking to Ali about the NTCR query we hadn't yet released. What was the outcome of that conversation? Those kind of things, much nicer things to do. And that's really interesting, I think, for an interactive challenge. Not just find it.
But this is a different. This is also somewhat difficult to evaluate because you need to phrase this very precisely, because what was the outcome of this conversation is not something that has a precise answer.
But that's what we do with the judges, right? The judges make decisions.
But I currently what we have is like the judges get something that is a very short answer with some degrees of freedom. But if you like ask for outcome of conversation, you could write a paragraph on that.
Yeah. Okay. We limit the like we do this with the Q&A things already. What airline? Oh, Turkish Airlines or whatever, Turkish. Fine. Okay.
How we do it? We only don't phrase it like that. So basically, how the queries in a non-item, and I think not in ad hoc, but in non-item, I think are formulated. That's multi-turn retrieval. If we don't go for a full conversation, but conversational search, for example, that's pretty much how you formulate and evaluate queries already. You provide a bit of information, then people start looking, then it's funny, on the microphone people say, okay, nobody finding, and then typically Werner or you kind of says, additional piece of information, like that growth running up the hill to the father towards the flag. Then you provide the next bit of information.
But what is the target? Is it a pure retrieval task, as in find the end of this conversational chain for this example, or is it a you need to somehow summarize this conversation into two phrases?
Evaluating summary is super difficult.
But
most of us did it at some point.
Maybe my example was bad. It doesn't necessarily have to be the outcome of a conversation. It can be the outcome of cooking breakfast on the third day. How many croissants were left? Whatever is that kind of query. Right? We make the query something that actually you can identify if you're pretty sure it's correct or reasonably correct.
Yes, but this is a easy fact finding, and then you could either have a pure value as a result, as in I did something, my answer is 3. I'm not going to tell you how I got to it, or you have to actually identify the crossals and say, well, show me all the instances, and then I can go, oh yeah, this is 1, this is 2, this is 3. There's actually 3.
The issue at IV or 4B, where one of the teams, actually on and on his team, the guy was guessing the answers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
always.
Right twice.
Allegedly.
And very badly, very badly.
So you're moving towards like reasoning,
Yeah.
But-
Exactly. Yeah.
providing evidence.
Yeah.
That's what Trackfit did. You remember multimedia event detection was?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was what I call summarization. It was a bit of a blasphemy to call it
Yes.
summarization
No,
because it was
yeah.
just evidence, you know.
Yeah,
like, but-
exactly. I mean, I guess you can get to multiple levels. You can just provide an explanation and say, because I have seen those things on 3 pictures. That's how I come. Or you really provide a list of evidence and say, this
Alright.
is the picture, this is the
Yeah,
picture.
you can provide at the timestamp,
Yeah.
at the times.
That's
or the period.
asynchronous then, right?
Meta task was asynchronous.
Yeah, I mean, you could do it in a synchronous thing as well if you have a system doing it. But of course, if you do that in an interactive way and you have things that the user reasoned and the system doesn't know about, then it gets difficult. Yeah, but at least I mean, I guess it could be interesting to build a system that also can keep this evidence. So basically that when you provide the answer, you have the things you looked at and say, well, this is the information I used to come up with the answer.
I would like to bring an additional aspect to this discussion because the Grand Challenge traditionally was always funded by companies and in a way that they also get some output, right? And even though I fully agree with all of you that we need interactive challenges, I think for the Grand Challenge at ACM Multimedia, we could also maybe do some subtasks like labeling. For example, many people in multimedia are working on food recognition. So it could be a collaborative annotation task also. And then later on, from that collaborative annotation, we could extract metadata and later on maybe use it for the interactive challenges as a ground truth, even though it might not be completely correct, of course.
But as a challenge, if you put it as a challenge, how do you evaluate it? I mean, the challenge has kind of this competition character.
Yeah.
The hackathon stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
So
It's
it has
more
the-
hackathon, yeah.
Looking at what came out of that meeting in ACM Multimedia on the first morning, it was a health-based hackathon. Is what they wanted to do, and we're naturally going to feed into that if we use this data.
I mean, there's
But-
very
have to,
interesting
right?
things we can do about this. I mean, for example, all of these things have barcodes on them.
Right.
So you can cross-reference this with the International Product Database and know exactly what this was, and then you can track how much of this happens to be.
Right.
Totally.
Good idea. Yes.
How much of this was consumed over what amount of time?
Very good idea.
Right, and I mean, essentially, it will be difficult to track who actually consumed what, but the methodology would be applicable if you have a smaller group of people. For a health tracking, you can say, okay,
Right.
what did I actually eat? What is my nutritional profile, just based on things I've seen. This sort of stuff.
Yeah.
I think this would be fascinating for a hackathon.
Yeah, I like that.
It would be very difficult for the Grand Challenge because how do you evaluate this? Because we are not all secretly keeping track and having
Yeah.
truth.
Maybe just one comment to this, because TrackQuit also does this part-based evaluation, right? Where they evaluate with some manual effort 10% of the submissions, and then approximate how much there will be in the
You can do
entire
that,
set.
For example, with product annotations, I mean, even 10% is
Yeah, it's a lot.
crazy
Yeah.
amount of work.
You're right. You're right.
So
Yeah.
there are some grand challenges if you look at it. The way I kind of participated also in some, and the one that we won in a New Yorker melange that was 10 years ago with Monza. That one was brought by IBM, and because they were based in New York, you know, like they wanted really. This is the definition of grand challenge. We want to show in New York using all this wealth of social media data from different perspectives. So competing teams had totally different solutions. Very interesting. Somebody focused on the fashion of the city, you know, like it's city of fashion. Recommender systems, location recommender systems, and so on and so on. So when speaking about grand challenges, they have also tradition of these open-ended tasks. So in that sense, what we kind of discuss now as a hackathon could also fit grand challenge.
Right. But there the checking wasn't on individual items whether they're
No,
correct or
no,
not.
absolutely
really
not.
on
It
the
was like,
overall
what did
look
you
and
make,
feel of the thing.
Okay, but so
Mhm.
this is the more you have a jury that looks at this on
Yeah,
the shelf
absolutely.
and
Yes,
then
yes, yes, yes.
It's more the look and the feel of the thing.
They
is
they
more
essentially grade
Yes. Yeah.
the creativity and the quality of the output and
Presentation also
Yeah,
during
yeah.
the conference.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean this is also something that would be interesting to do, but I guess this would be two tracks within something like this, right?
Mhm.
The more qualitative versus the more quantitative.
Well, in that case, there was only the one, right? There was only one track.
There was
of that
only
grand
one.
challenge.
There was only one track. Take because at that time for the community it was really important to see what can we do. Everybody talks about this social multimedia wealth and so on. What can we do? You know, like, and let's start moving into building some systems that actually use it for something useful. You know, either tracking fashion trends. Hong Kong people did this, or location recommenders, what we did, and a few other groups as well, and so on and so on and so on. I'm just like saying here, there are many possibilities. It doesn't
Yeah.
have to be really
We
classic
could-
computer vision segmentation.
No,
Yes,
absolutely.
but, detection
We,
and,
we could also track our fashion. Maybe find out who is wearing the same shirt or something.
I see you changed it. And I changed not to be the same as you, and you see we both changed.
Fashion and to recommendation.
There's just something
Look at
that
this guy in
is
should dress.
difficult to handle, and especially coming back to the interactive part of things, right? Because